Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the golden age of DC Comics, 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me by one of my best friends about 2 decades ago. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since, and it is a constant source of great comic book conversation, the kind we used to have back in ye old comic book shop on any given Wednesday. So I'm looking to recreate that here today with you. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is a 2004 Abrams publication. This is written and curated by Chip Kidd, Les Daniels, and Geoff Spear. You can find a link to the Amazon page in the description if you want your own copy. It will look great on your coffee table and makes a great gift for a geek. I know. The golden age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age between 1956 and 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby, from 1970 until 1985. And then the Copper Age begins in 1985. And one thing we love talking about on this show are the different ages of comic books, since it's a theme, the Golden Age and its subsequent ages. And so we're always open for more conversation about the different ages of comics and what's your interpretation of them. Around this time, every day in the show, and what goes great with this coffee table talk and a coffee table book, more coffee, please. We'll take some fresh pots over here. Wet your whistle. Pull up a chair. Bring a cup of your favorite Java. This is Guatemalan Huehuetenango. It's a wonderful, wonderful bean. This is the part where I get a little serious just for a moment. Listen, we live in strange times, but I think that's been said throughout the entirety of human history and prehistory. Activism is very important and very needed. It has a space, it has its place, it has its purpose. Okay, the world needs help. The people and the animals and the plants and the trees need help as well. But activism has been encroaching in our fiction and our fandom spaces. And they're quite awful sometimes. They're bullies. They use dirty tricks and dirty tactics and awful labels to try to get you to go with what they're selling. They're trying to use our fandoms selfishly as platforms to disseminate their message. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but I'm saying that escapism is equally as important as activism. Escapism gives us the opportunity to leave the world's problems behind just for a few moments in a day. Whether it's a comic book, a song, a sports game, you can be transported, spirited away to a different place in a different time and a different person with different motives and different circumstances just by using your imagination and plugging into fiction. You could be a space alien fighting an evil empire with a laser sword. You can, as today, you can be a denizen of the deep water and talk to the fishes and try to solve undersea adventures. You can get lost in rooting for the home team and whatever it is your favorite sport is. And that's the purpose of escapism. But for the activists to come into and intrude our spaces and to try to leverage us with guilt and shame and even just like an outright hostility because we object to being used as a platform, to being taken advantage of to spread their message when all we want is entertainment. I mean, I'm suffering from compassion fatigue. I would rather ignore the activists at this point than to listen to them because, I mean, who wants their nose constantly rubbed into this? That only an asshole would do that to you. Seriously. I mean, are activists assholes? I mean, or are fandoms assholes? Oh, who cares? I mean, seriously, you have a space, you have a place, and you can stick to it. Stay in your lane, as we say these days, right? But that's it. That's the escapism caveat. Escapism is very important. And don't let any activist ever bully you. Ever. You know, stand tall. And let's get back to the program. We're going to use this book for its intended purpose. It's a 365 days book. That means we're going to crack it open to today's date, July the 14th, we're going to look at some comic book art. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So let's get to it. And I hope you are having an awesome day. I hope you're able to escape your problems any way you can, just for a few moments. I wish that for myself, too. And let's get to it. Today is July the 14th. This is art by Louis Cazeneuve. I think I butchered that. Sorry. From More Fun Comics, number 99, September-October of 1944. Let's get to it. Let's cue the famous sound. It's Aquaman. He talks to the fishes. And he's talking to a fish. Yeah. You found something, Google. You found something, Google Eyes. I'm right behind you. No real volcano erupts grapefruit in phony rocks. And Google Eyes answers, plop. Awesome. Let's read the blurb and let's talk a little bit more about Aquaman. Guided by a denizen of the deep who may have been just a product of the artist's imagination, Aquaman dives down, quote, past dark depths and barnacled walls of green and slimy stone, in search of an underwater channel. He suspects there's deviltry brewing when a volcano beneath the sea starts spewing fruit and asphalt, finding an industrial-strength smelting operation hidden under the waves. There's also the unusual crew of criminals waiting to be rounded up, thus leaving the ocean floor safe for creatures who say plop. Let's look at that again. This is the Golden Age Aquaman. He's one of the few DC superheroes to stay in publication throughout the end of the Golden Age and in through the Silver Age. He didn't have his own title. The only thing that really changed was the color of his gloves from yellow to the more familiar orange, or the green, I believe. Oh, I dropped my bookmark. We're gonna need that. But yeah, let's talk about Aquaman real quick. And I hope you're having an awesome day. I really am. Where's my mouse? This is life on the internet, huh? Aquaman, his alias Arthur Curry, is a superhero. This is from the wiki. His first appearance was More Fun Comics number 73 of November of 1941. He was initially a backup feature in DC's anthology titles, and later starred in several volumes of a solo book series. That was much later down the line. I know him from SuperFriends and the Superman Aquaman Hour of Adventure. And this was a Saturday morning Filmation animated series that aired on CBS from 1967 to 1968. It was a 60-minute program, including a series of 6-minute adventures featuring various DC superheroes. I grew up on this show in reruns, and it was on every day after school. And so between Super Friends that was on Saturdays and the same production team with the same voice cast as well, I believe, we had a constant diet of DC superheroes. There was also a Marvel cartoons as well. There was a Spider-Man cartoon from the 60s that was very popular and known for its great jazz music. There was an Iron Man, a Fantastic Four, and there was a Captain America with his Captain America throws his mighty shield. That was the theme song. And but the Superman Aquaman Hour, they had the new adventures of Superman and the adventures of Superboy, as well as outings for Aquaman and his sidekick Aqualad, who was also a part of the Teen Titans. There was guest star cartoons featuring Adam, the Flash and Kid Flash, the Green Lantern, Hawkman, and new shorts from the adventures of Superboy. There was a Justice League of America and a Teen Titans, but Robin wasn't part of that team. And I remember Kid Flash had his outfit colored wrong. It was actually inverted, so all the yellow parts were red and all the red parts were yellow. It didn't look quite too good, especially next to Speedy, who was also part of the team, and his costume was red and yellow. Wonder Girl, who her costume was red, and then Aqualad, whose costume was red. Yes, and but I grew up on this Superman Aquaman Power Hour, and the famous sound effect of Aquaman telepathically talking to the fishes and commanding them. Yeah, I mean, I hope that doesn't get clipped. I really don't care. But yeah, Aquaman didn't get his own solo title until the mid-'60s. But he was a background character in Adventure Comics and then transferred to DC Comics in the 60s. But he went from More Fun Comics to Adventure Comics from the 40s to the 50s. And so he didn't have this, he never had his own title. And I don't think he was part of the Justice Society of America either. I'm pretty sure he was kind of a loner, and that's like his thing. He would get his own series in the 60s and then again in the 70s. He's always been getting his own solo series that ends up getting canceled. So Aquaman's pretty much more useful as one of those team characters, and especially as part of the Justice League of America, and or the Super Friends, as we have our background here, our constant background. That's Batman at the Hall of Justice, answering the trouble alert. Great Scott! And we've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. Turn on those notifications. Ring that bell. Please. I make daily content. We talk about comic books every day. I'm a professional chef. I talk about cooking. I'm a spiritual guy, an ordained minister, an amateur theologian. We talk about spirituality and the impact gratitude can have on a human body and your daily existence. We talk about the planets and the sky. If the skies are clear, we're rubbernecking at the sky. Look up into the sky. Yeah, and we also see bunnies in the morning too. So I take cute little nature videos. And that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today. God bless you. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you tomorrow again in the Funny Pages. Cheers. Bye-bye.